Okay, hello. I am here with a very special guest today. I am here with Laurie. Laurie, say hi.
Hi, everyone. I'm
The
happy to be here.
internet, I think, is not being our absolute best friend today. So we're going to give it a go. It just sometimes gets a little bit choppy, the internet. But Laurie, I am super glad you're here. Now, you just talk again because I want to just check that we're getting
Hi. Yeah, I'm
some
here.
good
I'm ready to go.
internet.
Yeah, I'm excited to tell
Okay, all
everyone.
right. Well,
Can you
maybe
hear me?
it's just my end. Maybe I'll just look at some. I'll look at the comments to just see. Um, okay, I think. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to give it a go. So, hello, everybody. Amber, I see you on. Amber, yes, I'm live. Amber, let us know if I've got a very special guest on today. Hi, Kathy. I have a special guest on. Laurie, hi, Jill. And the internet from my end. Laurie, wave again, will you? Thank you.
Can they
It's a
see
little
me?
bit spotty, but yes, we can see you. Yes,
Okay,
it's
good.
just a little bit of a lag, but we're going to go with it.
Okay.
Okay. So everybody, thank you for joining us. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Tammy. We've got lots of great girls on. So today I am here with a very special guest, Laurie, as you can see, and Laurie in DC, correct, Laurie?
In DC. Yes.
Yeah. And Laurie has just finished doing, or is finishing up, actually, I should say, doing my program. And Laurie, you are a completely changed woman. And I am so excited that you've come on just to share a little bit about your experience and your strength, you know, and your beautiful hope, because I just see so much beautiful hope in you. So, will you just, would you like to share with everybody and tell everybody a little bit about what it was like for you? You struggled with your weight for many, many years. What was it like for you? Give us a snapshot before you joined the Ignite program.
So before Ignite, I did the yo-yo dieting where I would lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. I would take diet pills. I tried the gastric balloon. I have tried all kinds of crazy stuff to lose weight. None of it very successful for very long. I would lose the weight with diet pills really quickly and gain it back even faster than I lost it. And sometimes double what I lost, what I had before. So it was just a cycle that was just getting out of control. And so it was time for a change. And then I found Sophie and Ignite. And I'm so happy that I did.
Well, I am so happy that you did. And so now, can everybody let me know? Hi, Meredith. Can you all hear Laurie all right? Is it breaking up or are you getting full reception? I just want to check because we're live and I want to check that you can all, somebody could let me know in the comments. Laurie's going a little bit in and out for me and I want to check that everybody else is getting good reception. So if you can let me know in the comments. Oh, it's fine on this side. Great. Oh, it's great. Fantastic. All right, Laurie, they can hear you clearly.
Yay,
Yay.
good.
Lots of thumbs up. So, Laurie, when we first spoke, you were taking diet pills. It had got to the point for you, correct, that you were so sort of desperate in a way that you were taking diet pills. Will you talk a little bit about that?
I was taking these diet pills that made me really jittery. I couldn't sleep at night, but they suppressed my appetite, and and they were helping. I think I lost 7 pounds on those, but it was over like a 3-week period. It was just, I felt awful. I felt awful taking these diet pills. I was always on edge. I just felt like hopped up on adrenaline all the time. It was just a really uncomfortable feeling. And I knew something had to change. I knew they weren't good for me.
Yeah. Yeah. But you also, Laurie, it was interesting because I think when we first spoke, you just said, look, you know, this is just, this is, you know, I'm doing this. And you knew deep down inside that it wasn't the answer. You're an extremely smart woman. You knew that it was a band-aid. And you didn't want to carry on doing it. But at that point, there just seemed to be no other choice to get rid of this weight that you were carrying. How was the extra weight impacting your life? Because you
So
got a knee injury, so what how is it impacting you?
yeah, so I have a knee injury. I tore my meniscus last year, so I had a surgery and I had a, on my tear. That was awful. I have an 8-year-old son. I had him later in life, so I had him when I was around 43. So I had to keep up with him, and there was just a lot going on. I'm an attorney, so I was working, with my job full time. I have a team under me, so I'm like in charge of a group, um, and it was affecting my work because I was just tired all the time. It was affecting my son because I was edgy and moody all the time. It was affecting my body because I was hurting all the time. I would get out of bed and it's hard to walk to the bathroom because my knees and my feet and my back hurt all the time. I had migraines at least twice a week, at least, sometimes more. And the headaches were, the kind where I had no sound, no food, in the bed for hours, just not being able to function at all. And it was taking over my life, like my just inability to do things. And it was just getting to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, yeah. And Laurie, I remember, I love that you said to us, you said quite recently, actually, I think you said, you shared with me in the group that your dad um, uh, that your dad had said to you, we'll share with everybody what your dad said when you
I
were like, well, I'm overweight and it's difficult. You've done these failed diets. What did he say to you?
He said, get over it. We all get fat when we get old, and it's just a part of life. And this was Christmas. I mean, it was right after Christmas dinner, I think. And we're sitting around the table, and he said, basically, suck it up. We're fat. We're all going to be fat. And I thought to myself, no, we're not. And this is not the way it's supposed to be. And at that moment, I was like, this is going to change. I'm going to make a change just because I have to, and to prove him wrong at the same time.
And Laurie, what do you think? What was that part of you that you think made you reach out to me? So you obviously, you saw it, you saw an ad or whatever it was, and you reached out to me. Do you think it was that little part of you that was just, I have to do something. I can't, there's got to be a different way, but you didn't know what that different way was at the time, correct?
That's correct. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that what I was doing was unhealthy. I wasn't good for me, and I needed to find an approach that was um, going to look at the whole, my everything, whole mind, body connection, all of it, because I felt like there was something deep down inside of me that would just go towards food, and just keep binge eating for no reason. And I was just like, I can't keep doing this. I needed to figure out what was making me do all of these bad things to myself when I know better.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's frustrating when you know better. Don't you find that that's the thing, Laurie, is that, again, super smart woman, super accomplished, mum, you've got all that going on. And yet you're like, and I know what I should be doing. I mean, you don't live under a rock. And yet it's putting it together and actually doing it. So let's get to the good stuff. So
Yes.
I don't even know, actually, to this point, because you and I haven't spoken for a few days. So how much weight have you lost on the program thus far?
I have lost 22 pounds on the program so far. I am down 7 inches on my waist. 7. I'm down 2 sizes. I had this funny story. I went out for a bike ride earlier, and I put on my fanny pack that I was wearing last year that I hadn't put on, and it fell down below my hips. That's where it was before on me, and it was that big that it fell down below my hips, and I just was laughing like, oh my gosh, I have lost so much weight that my fanny pack is now under my on my thighs almost. Yeah.
It's so inspiring. And also, I mean, that's just in a way the tip of the iceberg, isn't it, Laurie?
Yes.
Because it's not what I've seen in you and your journey that is so inspiring is that it's also, as you said, the migraines have gone, dealing with a knee injury, that you've had a torn meniscus, you know, inflammation, you know, has died, the aches and pains, the migraines. So it's all those other internal markers that have really been extremely powerful for you, correct?
I mean, extremely powerful. I have not had a migraine since I started the Ignite program. Not one migraine in 3 months when I had them few times a week before. My knee pain is almost non-existent to this point. Only if I do some really strenuous exercises do I need to ice it. But I don't limp anymore. I was limping all the time. I'm like too young to be limping around. And I no longer limp. My feet don't hurt anymore. I have so much energy. I'm happier. Everyone even sees it. They're like, you're just a more pleasant person. Everything about me has changed my entire life.
It's unbelievable. And now actually, we'll get to that in a moment, to what you're doing now, which is just so exciting because you're on fire right now. But what I'd love to ask you is, what do you think, Laurie, in retrospect, now that you've been, you know, doing this program for a few months now, what is the biggest shift? What was the thing that in a way made this so different for you, that it's like, oh, because you've said a number of different times on the coaching calls, there's no going back. There is no going back. So what has made this different? Is it the internal shift that you've made? Could you speak a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. I feel that there's a total mind-body connection now. Like when I see food that is beautiful and makes me feel, and I know when I eat it, it's going to make me feel good. I actually do feel good, and the more I feel good, the more I want to eat foods that make me feel good. It's a whole circle, and I've really never felt better in my life, and I just can't imagine going back to eating the way I did, feeling the way I did, and just knowing that everything I'm doing for myself is for the good of all of me has made a huge difference in everything. I'm just overwhelmed with, this program and what this program has done for me.
That's beautiful. And also, Laurie, that what I've seen you do over the course of the weeks and the months is that it's not just what you're eating, it's not just how you're nourishing, it's not what you're eating, it's not how you're eating, which is completely radically changed, but it's also the other lifestyle shifts that you've made as well. And that's what I've seen in you, that learned you really have learned in a way to change the way your brain works, to sort of, I always call it rewiring the brain, which sounds a little crazy, but do you feel there is a change in you that makes it feel, I guess what I'm getting at is, in the past, you tried lots of different things, and most people out there have tried so many different diets and approaches. And deep down inside, you sort of know, well, this is for a short amount of time. So what makes it different with you, Laurie, knowing that you have changed and that this is sustainable, and a change that it's forever now?
Well, I didn't go in thinking it's a diet. I thought it was going to be a lifestyle change. Because I don't feel like the foods that I eat are diet foods. I feel like, and I don't like limit what I eat either. So I don't feel like I'm Like, yeah, I can't eat anything. I don't feel like, I feel like I can eat the foods that I like to eat and I can eat them in the amounts that I want to eat them, and it still doesn't affect me negatively. I think that's the difference. Like, I don't feel like, oh, I'm dieting, or oh, I'm I can only eat. I don't use those words anymore because I feel like I get to choose what I put inside of me, and I'm excited about the foods that I get to put inside of me, and that's the difference. And I just don't think of it as a diet. I think this is my lifestyle. This is what I do now because I know how they make me. And again, I've lost weight as a consequence of how I'm eating, but I haven't tried to lose weight. It was just a benefit of putting the right foods in my body. I think, and that's a huge switch. Before I was just, starving myself so I could lose weight. And now I'm eating as much as I want to, and I'm losing weight too. Like it's a completely different shift. And it's just because I'm eating really good foods and moving my body.
It's pretty amazing.
Yes. And now just the weight just comes off because it wasn't supposed to be in there in the first place. That's how I look at it. It wasn't supposed to be there.
That's so beautiful. And at the same time, aside from, nourishing yourself in this way and moving your body in the way that you've started, you are moving your body and all the mindset stuff that you're doing in the meditation, what I see before me, Laurie, is the difference. And it's so beautiful because I get to see you, obviously on the first time you speak, and then I get to see you now. And honestly, and I've said this to you before, is what it was like was you were just seemed very jittery, obviously, a little bit like, oh my gosh, and a little desperate, and I don't know what to do, and I'm just fed up with this, and I can't go on like this. And now I see you, this beautiful, calm, strong, empowered, I can woman sitting before me. And it's so beautiful to see. It's been such an honor to take you on this journey, Laurie, honestly. And to see you being the mother to your son and the inspiration to your son, and to your everybody around you,
Yes.
is just extraordinary. And it's just I get to be the recipient of that joy and to share in your joy and your strength. Laurie, I would love you just to chat a little bit about, in a way, your strength and your hope of what you're doing now, just in the last couple of weeks, because on this program, so those of you who are watching, it's a sort of journey, isn't it, Laurie? I
Yes.
take you on a journey, and the journey at the beginning of the journey is like, okay, we're going to start doing, this whole new way of living. And I remember all those early days of like, oh my gosh, and there's all the, challenges and things like that you go through. And then you grow and you grow and you grow. And then, Laurie, it becomes more about who you want to be, who you want to become, who you want to express yourself as. And so for everyone, that's different on the Ignite program. But what I've seen in you is the inner athlete, rising strong. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've always kind of felt like an athlete, even though I've never played any sports, but I felt like I could play a sport if I wanted to or chose to. We moved around a lot as a child because I was an Army brat. And so I never got a chance to, actually focus on a sport. But I always felt like I could do anything. And then over the last few years, I just felt like I could do nothing. I just was not. And so this program has given me the ability to see the athlete in me. And I have reached goals that I went on a 27-mile bike ride this past weekend. And I'm doing a 35-mile bike ride on Mother's Day weekend. Like I love it. I'm out there. I can't run anymore because of my knee, but I found a sport that I can do. And I'm going all gusto into it. I'm so excited to be out there and putting in the miles in on my bike. I went last night for a 15-mile bike ride just to prepare for the 35 miles. I'm putting in at least 50 miles a week at this point on my bike. And I am loving every minute of it. And then when I'm not on the bike, I am just training. I'm, working on my legs and my arms and doing other cardio to make sure that I'm strong.
Oh,
So
it's absolutely beautiful. And it's just, I mean, that right there, it's almost a sort of miracle. The fact that you went on a 15-mile bike ride last night.
yes.
And I was talking to you a few months ago, and you were literally on the couch, just like feeling desperate. And you did it. I mean, I couldn't do a 15-mile bike ride. I'd have trouble doing that. And that you're going to do this on Mother's Day. So you're out there inspiring everybody. Laurie, you are an absolute inspiration to everybody. Is there anything that you would like to say to people who are struggling, to anyone who's watching out there who is struggling, and particularly I think those who have maybe gone to desperate measures? It's like, oh, whether it's diet pills or, whatever it is, the food delivery program, whatever it is, that stuff that they're doing in desperately trying to sort of lose that weight. Is there any sort of word of wisdom that you would share?
Yeah, as we have found on the Ignite program, the best program is a holistic approach. It's not a specialized focused on like losing weight or spot training like losing your belly or anything like that. I mean, it really has to be within all of you. Your mind has to match what's going into your mouth, which has to match the movements that you're putting out forward. It's not one thing or the other. It has to be all of the components together. Because if you're trying to do one thing and not the other, it's really going to be temporary, and it's not going to give you the results that you want. And so I have to say, learning to focus on myself through the meditation, which has been beautiful, and being able to like see the end results before I even got there, made me want to get there even faster. And just focusing on it every single day. I meditate every single morning as soon as I wake up, because I need to focus myself so that I know what path I'm on and so that I stay on it. That just really helps me focus. And then I really enjoy working out every day, moving my body every day, some way, some form, makes a huge difference. I literally, for the first year of COVID, sat on my couch and did not move or exercise for a full year, except for to walk into the kitchen and get food. And I would never trade that, go back there ever again. It's just a click happens once you put all the components together and they start working for you, and you understand how it all works together. You never want to go back and not do these things ever again in your life. And so it's a priority for me, and it's going to always be a priority for me. I have become a priority. I was not before. I put everything and everyone else first, and now I put myself first, and then if I'm happy, everyone and everybody else will be too. That was a hard lesson to learn. That's a mindset that you have to kind of get to.
Yeah. And you have worked that, how beautiful to share that with everybody, Laurie. And I will say that, Laurie, you've worked every aspect of this program, and I mean every aspect of it. And the mindset is the most important piece. That's the shift for you. And I see it in every part of you, in every cell of your being, this absolutely complete and utter shift. Every word that's coming out of your mouth, I'm like, wow, that's a total shift. It's a 360-degree shift. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful transformation. And as you know, Laurie, I don't use that word lightly, transformation, because I know we hear it a lot. It's like, oh my God, transformation, blah, blah, blah. But in your case, I really do. I mean, we can all see, you're absolutely, transformed. And when that transformation and that shift happens on a really deep level, it is permanent. That there is no going back. And I feel, and I think everybody watching, I really feel that incredible strength in you. It's just, this is the way that it is. and there is no going back. And you get to go out there and be now and give to the world everything that you want to give, and be in joy and live in joy and live in that beautiful, successful, gorgeous, fulfilled state of mind and being. So I want to thank you so much for coming and sharing with us, Laurie. Beautiful, beautiful Laurie. And hopefully those of you who are watching, have got a little bit of inspiration, a little spark of inspiration from Laurie, and it won't be the last you'll be seeing of Miss Laurie. We're going to be seeing her crashing all these marathons and doing all this stuff, and we'll definitely have you back. I want to check in with you in 6 months' time and see how everything's going then for you, Laurie. But thank you so much for coming, and Meredith's going, yay, congratulations.
Can I just add one thing at the end,
please.
Sophie? I really feel like Ignite has saved my life, and I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for including me in this beautiful group. I really feel like I've gotten my life back, and it's all because of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you for that. And, thank you for showing up, because there was that part of you that knew you needed something. I believe everything is synchronistic. It came together. You created this, Laurie. You created your place in this program. You created your journey in this program. You played full out. You are now playing full out in your life. So it's all on you, honest you. That's absolutely every single bit of this is 100% on you. And I just have the pleasure of just sitting back and watching that. Yes, I've been coaching you, but wow, what a joy I get, and what a joy you've been to coach. So I thank you for being with us, and we'll everyone who's watching. You've got some great comments in there, Laurie, from Meredith is on, another graduate, and she's just like, congratulations! Yeah, super, super cool. And we'll definitely have you back.
Thank you so much.